Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the General Hospital recap for Monday, January 19th through Friday, January 23rd. Not sure why I just said the days of the week because I don't normally, but here
because
we are.
Your brain was already thinking ahead to the fact that we didn't have an episode Tuesday.
It was, yeah. So for a couple Port Charles pipelines, one, we shared it, but we forgot to mention on last week's episode, Marcus Cullum has a new single on Spotify titled Dropped, and it's really good, and I have got it stuck in my head quite a few times.
That's awesome.
It's a really good song. And then we have a couple emails, one from Melanie, GH thoughts and Happy New Year. And this is who gave us the story of Blackie and Lou for all of those listening at home that might not recognize the name. This is our fan that we did a fan spotlight and she read us the story of Blackie and Lou. Hi, friends. I know it's a little late for January for Happy New Year. No, it's not. Listen, James Vanderbeek had an excellent TikTok the other day about, I'm just going to find it and I'm going to play it for you guys because it's that good. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't. But if Dawson said it, it's good. I'll listen to it.
No. As someone who just recently saw that show for the first time, no. But I will give him this.
Anybody else out there finding that your New Year's resolution was impossible to keep? I'm going to say something. I don't think it's your fault. I think it makes total sense. Why are we celebrating a new year in the dead of winter? Why are we celebrating new beginnings at a time when nature rests? Animals are hibernating. Birds fly south for the winter. The time to celebrate a new beginning and a new you and a new resolution is in the spring, at the vernal equinox, when the flowers bloom and it gets warmer and the birds return. That's how nature does it. Why are we fighting nature? I mean, all due respect to Pope Gregory VIII, who saddled us with this Gregorian calendar system, but it just makes absolutely no sense. Plus, hear me out on this one. If March is the first month of the year, that means September is the 7th, October the 8th, November the 9th, December the 10th. You see where I'm going with this, right? So I'm going to say, screw it. I'm going to take the winter to recover, to rest, and I'm going to make New Year's resolutions in the spring. Who's with me?
And there are so many comments on that. Melanie, you had no idea that this is where your email was going. So sorry, girl. I just totally hijacked it. But there are so many people leaving in the comments. Like, this is very Dawson Leary of you. Was that Dawson talking? But I mean, he makes such an excellent point. And that's why, like, I often joke because JD's birthday is January 5th. So I'm like, nope, I don't start my new year until Epiphany because no diet is happening until after his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, why are we doing this January 1st? And especially like this weekend, we're feeling it. It's however many degrees outside. And most of the country is supposed to be, okay, that was such an exaggeration. Most of the East Coast from like the mid-Atlantic to the East Coast is supposed to be getting like a ton of snow and ice and cold and everything. All we're doing is setting ourselves up for failure that's why they call, what is it, the third Monday of January is like the most depressive day of the year.
Oh, okay.
Do you know that?
I did not.
Third Monday. FBI is not going to question this search.
That's a first. Out of like 400 searches, you got one that is okay.
Most depressing. Blue Monday is the third Monday of January. It's widely cited as the most depressing day of the year. While its origin, the concept was coined in 2005 by a travel company as a marketing gimmick to sell winter holidays. However, experts noticed this time of year combines the end of the holiday season, the cold, dark weather, financial stress from holiday spending, and the abandonment of New Year's resolutions. Because most people, that's why they say it takes like 28 days to form a habit. Most people don't make it. So 3 weeks in, that's 21 days.
Okay.
And mental health experts generally agree that the equation for this day is not based on scientific evidence, but the idea is considered a myth. However, in general, though, like I feel like it makes sense because, they say how many New Year's resolutions don't make it through the first month.
Right.
So let's be like Dawson and have it be March. So Melanie, totally not too late for Happy New Year.
We got there. Go ahead.
Shannon's nerd out happened a little early today. But I'm still playing catch up with both GH and podcast episodes. Even though I'm several episodes behind, I wanted to reach out and say hi anyways. Also keen to share my own 2026 predictions before it gets too late. Woo! Thank you. As always, I have lots of thoughts, so patience, please. Aw, you guys did so good with Bobby's 411 series.
Aw.
It's hard to do justice to so many story over so many years, but you did. It was a great tribute to the character and the actress. I'm so excited for Phase On's 411 episodes. Yeah, JD and I have been talking about that a lot this week. Next thought is that Emma and Gia are so cute. Really like them as a couple and love the families they bring together. Hope to see more interactions in the coming years. Wish we had more Mac on screen to bluster at Geo in his overprotective Uncle Grandpa role.
Oh.
Yeah, we do need Daddy Mac.
Stop. You are not allowed to use that word.
I was thinking Mac Daddy.
You are not allowed to call anybody a daddy, and you're not allowed to put that with Max. Stop.
Mac Daddy.
Oh my God. You can start singing some crisscross.
Jump, jump. Anyway, I was just thinking about him with the girls when they were teenagers, and I didn't think that through before I said it. It's not like I said anything inappropriate. It's just what it is. No, but you're right. Like, it would be great to see, especially where Anna's missing, and we'll get into it later because Emma did try to find Mac, but the fact that it's taken her almost 3 months to reach out to Mac,
Right.
is kind of, I feel like he would have been who she went to before Brennan, but whatever. Yeah. Same with Molly and Cody. Great pairing. I think they bring out the best in each other, and I like watching them. Agree. I agree with both of you that Trina needs some distance from her parents. I don't like the way they are writing her reaction to the dissolution of Curtis and Portia's marriage. Be upset, that makes sense, but way too involved. Yes, and I feel like we have talked about this, that like your adult, just because your children are adults doesn't mean that they should be involved in your personal matters.
Right.
To some extent. Like, but there's definitely boundaries, and being involved and or responsible for your marriage.
No.
It is no child's responsibility at any age. Nathan, why isn't anyone, Nathan especially, trying to find out where he was and what he was doing for 7 years?
Right.
No investigations, no inquiries. It's way too sus that no one is looking into this. And I have a few more thoughts about Nathan this week, too. That's my side note. Tracy bringing back cocktail hour at the mansion is fantastic. I love when we have cues gathered, and I appreciate the nod to the past. Her giving that rifle to Olivia after chasing Drew out was so good.
Mm-hmm.
And Tracy this week for me just justified my saying, oh, that's on this upcoming episode of the Port Charles 411 fan spotlight where I was asked a question.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Because that wasn't Sam, right? Or was it Sam? Was it Sam or Kim that asked us that?
I thought it was Kim.
Either way, I think Chase is going to have a hard time when he finds out that Willow is guilty.
Mm-hmm.
I see him questioning his own judgment after learning how much he was lied to and manipulated by her. Maybe even make him question if he should be a cop anymore.
Oh.
There we go. Sunny and Laura, I have not watched this yet. I've not sure if you saw The State of Mind with Jeannie Francis, recommend if not, but the reason for this storyline with Sidwell is because Jeannie asked for it. She wanted to work more with Maurice.
Aw, I love that.
So her episode of State of Mind was before Anthony Geary passed.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the last things that we saw Anthony Geary do was his husband shared a video of him watching the episode. So I wonder if that's part of why I haven't watched it yet.
Probably.
That explanation is enough for me to forget that just a year ago she was ready to take him down. if she could as mayor. I was baffled by the turnaround until I heard that. And I hope they continue to focus on Laura, who is strong and capable, and don't lean into the damsel in distress. Heck yes.
Yes.
Tony, like everyone else, just so sad at his passing. I have not given up. Girl, I bet you were wishing that you wrote this email on Friday. I have not given up hope that we can still see a tribute story to his character, like they gave Bobby and Monica after their actress's passing. In my ideal world, why haven't we thought of this? It's tied to Robert's final story.
That would be beautiful.
my fan fiction, we learned that Robert received a letter from Luke after his final possessions cleared customs in Amsterdam. After deciphering the coded message, Robert realizes Luke's death wasn't an accident. Okay, I have had one glass of wine. I'm going to give full transparency, but I think you all know that I'd be crying no matter what. He runs off to hunt a rogue, as yet unknown Cassadine. When news of Robert's death gets back to Port Charles, Anna and Laura team up to take down the new Cassadine threat. Anyway, that's my little fantasy. I hadn't considered this being done. One last Cassadine adventure for Robert and Luke.
Oh, that would be very sweet.
With Anna and Laura to share the stories of the men they loved.
Yeah.
Obviously, I considered because when Luke died and then like Helena had the whole thing and
right.
Like I considered that, but I hadn't considered the Robert tied with Luke thing. You know why? Because we know that Robert and Luke were friends, but we did not grow up watching Robert and Luke. So like, I feel like the only time that we saw that deep of a friendship is when Luke talked Robert off the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
We knew that they were friends. Like we absolutely knew that, but like we did not get to see that. Predictions for 2026. Willow is exposed and has to seek treatment in a facility. Liz gets her own story. More of a wish than a prediction. She deserves it. Nathan isn't really Nathan, not the man we know and love anyway. Lulu and Nathan, I hope I'm wrong about this one. Even if I'm right, Nathan isn't Nathan because not cool, Lulu. But at the same time, if she thinks he is, it's kind of like Ava with Kevin when it was actually Ryan.
Yes.
Not cool, Ava. You knew that you thought you were going after Kevin. Just like when Lucy did too for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
She gave up on that quickly, and I'm very glad that they did not have that be an issue with Laura and Lucy because I feel like that would have been such a hard one to watch. Ooh, Tracy and Martin become friends or more after he helps her take down Drew. Okay. Carly and Valentine have an affair after she breaks up with Jack. Laura and Sunny eventually triumph over Sidwell, but it's a long road. Curtis is the baby daddy. Brooklyn and Chase adopt, but it's not a baby or an infant.
That would be nice.
I would like that just because I feel like it would fit the storyline of we just want to have a family.
Right.
Thanks as always for the podcast. Appreciate your work so much. Ta, Melanie.
Aw.
You're such a sweetheart. Thank you. And then from Sherry, GH reference, I'm watching the show Baby Daddy in season 4, episode 6. One of the main characters gets a role on GH. Hallie Monaco is on the show as Sam.
Oh, wow.
So wait a second. Hold it. Baby Daddy, season 4, episode 6. I want to go read the synopsis and see. Over My Dead Bonnie is the name of it. Riley is ecstatic when Danny is offered a bit part on General Hospital, her favorite show. And continuing to scheme to get Bonnie's apartment, Tucker pretends to hold a funeral and Bobby misrepresents Ben as a gay man. There sounds like a lot of stuff going on there that I have no idea about. But Danny he receives a cameo role on General Hospital and nervously prepares for his scenes with actress Kelly Monaco. So wait a second, was he actually on? Hold it. Okay, we're deep diving this because was he actually on the show with Kelly Monaco back then? Because that would have been, when was that?
I bet not.
That would have been awesome though, 2015. Who is this guy?
It would be awesome, but I don't think he was.
Did you ever watch that show?
I don't think so.
Derek, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, so we're going to just say that on General Hospital.
Really?
He was! Oh my gosh, this is even better! Okay, is this what meta is? Is this what, I'm serious. Is this what meta, like this is meta, right? This is what on February 13th, 2015, Brad runs into Dr. Derek at the GH locker room. Derek says they have been working together for 2 years and he wants Brad to sign up for the inter-hospital hockey. Okay, so now the hospital have hockey teams? Where did that go? Derek mentions that he has reservations at the Metro Court Hotel with a promising date before he leaves the room. Derek offers to take Sam to the Metro Court when he overhears her boyfriend Patrick won't be able to go with her. Patrick introduces Sam to Derek, the chief of plastic surgery at GH, and mentions that they play sports together. Derek says that he is meeting his date at the Metro Court, but Sam can get a ride with him and keep him company. Patrick is skeptical that Derek's date is coming. Sam doesn't mind going with Derek. At the Metro Court restaurant, Olivia shows Derek and Sam to a table. Olivia asks Sam what happened to Patrick as it is Valentine's Day, and Sam says that it's a long story. While Sam and Derek chat, they agree that Patrick is bad at sports. Derek gets a call and tells Sam his date just canceled as she has to work. Sam convinces Derek to leave and surprise his girlfriend at work, and she promises to keep an eye out for Patrick. And there is a picture of them in the hospital.
Oh, that's crazy.
That is great. That is fantastic. I absolutely love that. That is awesome.
I would have never thought. I just thought that like the character Sam made a appearance.
Right. Nope. It was a crossover. That's a crossover.
Right. That is a crossover. Look at us using our big words.
It's like, but it's crazy that but he got a role on the show, like to play a role. It's not
right.
Oh, that is so cool though. Oh, I love that. I love that. Do we want to talk about the 2 minutes of the show this week that were randomly interrupted before the last 10 minutes of Friday? Or do we want to wait for that to actually be part of the recap? I don't think it was even 2 minutes, to be honest.
It was just frustrating. That was like, where did that even come from? Like, why? It wasn't the beginning of the show. It wasn't the end of the show. It was just pop it in there.
That's what she said. It was 1 minute. It was 1 minute. And that's not what she wanted to say.
Are we not doing like a prime time then? Like,
right.
Okay, I understand. I understand if we can't write it into story, even though I wish we could. I love all the ideas.
They absolutely could. They absolutely could.
But I'll let them have that they can't. I'll pretend like it's okay. Okay. But are we not doing a tribute hour on primetime then? Like, come on.
We all joke about, because we talk about like the clips, that maybe they can't use old clips because of residuals and things like that. I am pretty darn sure if we did a GoFundMe to pay whatever royalties it would cost to get a proper.
Yes. I just,
do you want to share with the rest of the class what we're talking about, just in case? If somebody blinked, they missed it.
True. If you went up for a potty break, if you came back and never knew that it happened. So we finally had our memorial moment for Anthony Geary, and who even started it off? It wasn't Laura.
Alexis.
Yes, Alexis. So Alexis.
He was naughty, right? He was naughty, which
yes.
I love. But like, what? Okay.
Yes. I just don't understand. Okay, I love Alexis. I know the character Alexis had a lot of scenes with the character Luke because of the Cassadine connection, and he loved to mess with her about.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me correct. That was Natasha, not Alexis.
No. Right.
I will correct myself there just for him.
Right.
Or Nancy Lee Grahn, because that's actually who we're talking about. But
yes. So okay, like I get that, but I don't understand how they chose her and Carly and Laura as the only three people that were speaking about him. Even like everybody in that cast has to have a story about him. I want to hear all of them.
Like, we don't need just the women. No Maurice.
Right. So I don't know. They let each of the women say how wonderful he was, and they showed a few clips of action that's happened through the years. And then they threw up a picture of him with his birthday and date that he passed, and that was the end of it. I can't even go into more detail because nothing that they said was, not that it wasn't a nice tribute. Like, obviously he meant a lot to them, but nothing was earth shattering. Oh my God. Like, I didn't get all upset other than the fact that I'm upset that he passed, which we already know.
I did not cry. I did not even tear up.
So that's how we know it wasn't complete enough.
I, honest to goodness, felt so numb watching it.
Yes.
It was, and I can understand Jeannie not being able to do it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And to only do that one line where, they're not really gone, whatever it was that she said.
Right.
But to not have Maurice, to not have Jonathan Jackson, to not have, Rylan.
Right.
Just to not have, like you said, and we talked about it, but like you just said, like an actual special talking about the impact that this man had on not just the show, though, like pop culture, the daytime industry. Also, so like my dentist's mom used to watch General Hospital, and she and I have talked about it like with the podcast and everything, because he and I have been friends since I was 16. We worked together at McDonald's. So this is how much I trust him because, when you know someone is a teenager and then eventually you wind up having him be your family dentist, he's fantastic. I love him to death. But like we talk about it, and I was checking out one time and he's like, Mom, didn't you used to watch that? And she started talking to me. And that's how I found out that Anthony Geary was in Jesus Christ Superstar. I had no idea. She was like, yeah, I saw him, in Pittsburgh as Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar. I'm like, I didn't even know he could sing. Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Because that was also kind of a littler known. I mean, we totally fangirl over something. We do not know absolutely everything about every single actor. And we just found out when we were doing one of the Christmas episodes that Anthony Geary is who was singing. Was it Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas?
I believe so.
But, like, talk about things like that I'm just disappointed. And that is the worst thing you can say. You can be mad. You tell someone you're disappointed, though. That's even worse.
Right. He deserved so much more. We deserved so much more. I want to hear all of those stories. Whatever people are willing to share.
Final goodbye, right? Like,
yeah.
Let's play it real quick. We're just gonna do this the whole show. We're just gonna play clips. So here's the deal. When Alexis is speaking, she's sitting. When Carly is speaking, she's standing in front of the elevators at the hospital. And then Laura is standing somewhere else. I actually
in her office, maybe?
It might have been off the top of my head right now, just remembering the clip. I can't remember, but we will get there together. Hold on.
He was a master.
Oh,
he was a master craftsman. If I know everything.
One last time.
Curious, generous.
We remember a legend. Tony Geary.
An incredible man, an amazing actor, and I am so grateful that I had the opportunity to share the stage with him.
Farewell, old friend.
An alcoholic. I do not have a stage. I don't want to stay here. What am I supposed to do? Not me?
Some people were so alive that they'll never be gone.
I guess this is goodbye. I guess it's...
Tony Geary, May 29th, 1947 to December 14th, 2025. And they just showed like a handful of clips. My interjecting was reading the words that were on the screen. I just don't even know what to say. Like
we all got cheated. That's not enough. It's not fair.
We didn't. That's the thing though. We didn't. He did.
Right.
Like we know he's not Luke. We know he did other things. But I think that at the end he realized, and like we've talked to other people, about how you struggle with because you don't want to be typecast. You don't want to be only thought of as, but then eventually at some point they embrace it. Right.
Right. He
loved his fans. And he and I were obviously best friends at the end. So I feel like he would, if this is what would have made him happy, I want his husband to say that. Like, I want his husband to say, I worked with ABC and this was what Tony would have wanted. Give me that.
Right.
Give me that. And I am fine.
Exactly.
But
no.
He devoted his life to the show. Yep. Yeah. There's nothing on his husband's page, like saying anything about this.
Right.
So,
I don't understand. I guess that's where I'm at. I need an explanation. Why was this done now? And why was it done in this way? Like, who decided that this was enough? If, like you said, this is all that he wanted, this is all that his husband wanted. Okay. I can respect that. I would absolutely respect that. But as far as if this is really what the people in charge think that he was, owed or worthy of, no. No.
I'm just looking to see, like, did we miss? Because we also don't watch live.
Right.
The TV Cave, General Hospital drops emotional Anthony Geary tribute. No, I'm sorry, they didn't.
Yeah.
The town of Port Charles is a little quieter today. General Hospital took a break from its usual baby swap shenanigans to pay respect to the GOAT of daytime television. In a move that has soap fans reaching for the nearest Kleenex box, the show shared a touching tribute to the late, great Anthony Geary on its official Instagram today.
No.
Okay. All right. This is why we need to this is why we need to Google first, Amanda.
Sorry.
And Shannon. I just yelled at myself. It's okay. Guys, by the way, Amanda and I had a conversation, and I am not sharing what the conversation was about earlier, but I totally called myself Portia. So just going to throw that out there. While today's Instagram post was an appetizer that they should have mentioned in the show,
yeah,
and I feel like they could have done this, General Hospital confirmed that a full hour commemorative episode is slated for Friday, February 20th.
Okay.
Expect more rare footage, more cast reflections, and likely a lot more weeping from Laura Wright, who noted in the tribute how grateful she was to have shared the stage with the legend. Okay, you know what they could have done? at the very end of that entire clip.
Right. Say, continue watching on February 20th.
Right. Full tribute coming February 20th.
Yep.
I'm not deleting any of that either because I feel like everyone else needs to have had that full experience with us. But also because I want to check, because General Hospital ABC did share it. He deserves a full hour tribute in prime time, not just replay. And then multiple people saying, yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Okay. So it's not just us.
All right. Good. Thank you for Googling.
I want to get that on a button so I can just keep replaying it when I do. How did this make you cry and smile?
No, it wasn't long enough.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. So okay. So with that in mind now, that would have been an excellent, it's what those in the biz, I believe, call a trailer, little snippets of previews of things that you should be anticipating to see. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. Okay, so let's call that the Tony trailer.
All right. Okay, now I'm okay with it.
Right. And I'm so thankful that it's not going to be while I'm gone.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So here's a little trailer for us, or I guess like a little preview, whatever. JD and I are going to be out of the country now again. He's coming with me on my business conference, and it'll be Amanda and Ryan again at the end of February. Yay! So this might just be like an annual thing now. All right, we should have Googled, but this is why our fans like us. This is why everything, why I didn't Google that ahead of time, because I try not to do spoilers.
Right.
So yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that. So we will not talk about it again until February 23rd is when the episode will be released. So we will zip it. I don't think we talked about it at all, but on this upcoming week's 411, it is a fan spotlight with Kim Hudson. We've read her emails many times.
Yes.
Frequent Port Charles Pipeline contributor. Had such a great time. We really don't say this. It's not like we're lying and say that we don't have a favorite kid. I have a favorite son and a favorite daughter, so I get away with it. You have a little bit more difficult of a situation, but I get to say that I have a favorite son and a favorite daughter. But we really do love our fans. I feel like every single one is so different.
Yes.
And
It's
we
so
all bring
exciting.
It is. It really is. So yeah, we talk about a lot of different things, and I still have not edited it. So there is a chance it actually could be a two-parter.
I bet that it is. Because I feel like it was a conversation like you and I have. We got partway through and we're like, okay, it's been an hour. Thank you for talking, blah, blah. And then something else came up and it was like, blah, 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 blah. Oh, it's been another 45 minutes. Okay. Sorry.
I use the app Marco Polo with a couple of my friends, and one of them, and she does it to me too. So it's completely reciprocal. But every time I say, okay, I'm going to wrap it up because I'm just like kind of babbling now, she looks at the time to see how much more time I have left. And she's like, it's an average of like another 5 minutes. That's my average of wherever I ended. I will come up with like another 5 minutes of stuff to talk about randomly, because it always winds up being those little, oh my gosh, that's why I forgot to tell you.
Yes.
So, all right. Do you have any pipelines?
I do not. Nope.
Okay. Nothing fun this week. Okay.
Nothing fun this week that I saw.
Darn it. All right. So for Hulu headlines, on Monday, the verdict in Willow's trial creates shockwaves, which actually happened on Friday, but that's a whole other thing. Sunny makes a cryptic offer. Anna is horrified. Drew issues a warning to Nina. Dante is conflicted. On Wednesday, because we did not have an episode on Tuesday, Elizabeth and Lucas rush to action. Britt asks Jason on a date. Trina confides in Ava. Cullum issues new orders. Michael and Chase have a tense encounter. Okay.
That was a little intense, yeah.
Thursday, Laura is alarmed. Tracy makes Jason an offer. Nina advises Kai. Brennan briefs Jocelyn. Lucas delivers devastating news. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he did. Oh, I mean, I guess it's all in perspective.
I was going to say, no. It was good news, but I guess no.
On Friday, Britt is backed into a corner. Jason is suspicious. Emma turns to Nathan for help. Brooklyn and Chase discuss their future. Lucas and Marco are surprised.
I feel like that should have said Carly is suspicious, because Carly was all over that.
She was clocking all of it.
Yes.
Can I start real quick, though?
Sure.
Just because Cullum begins with a C, and Director Cullum has been holding Britt's medication over her head.
Okay.
And the note that I thought for sure meant phase on with the C, and I believe that was intentional, obviously.
Right.
But Cullum begins with a C.
Okay. You are correct.
C is for Cullum, but it's not good enough for me. I want Cesar.
Oh, man.
That's it.
That's all.
That was
You're done?
That's all I have an opinion about this week. No, but like I wanted to make sure that I said it because I actually have a lot of notes. I don't know why, but I just do. But that was like the top of it for me. So
did you see that the actor that plays Faison is who actually recorded the voice over the system? He sent it from where does he live?
He's in Amsterdam.
Amsterdam, yeah. So he did not come here and record it, but he recorded it in Amsterdam and sent it over.
So that's actually him?
That is actually his voice that you're getting to hear. It is not a computer program. Like, I mean, obviously I don't know what they're going to say in the show, but for you who love him so much, that was authentically his voice.
That's Anders Hove. Or Hove.
Yes.
Hove. I still don't know. When we interview him, when I have my husband interview him, we will find out for certain.
Yes.
Okay, I'm trying to pat myself on the back here, but I really am so excited just because of my husband. Like,
right.
If he had not become so obsessed with Cesar Faison because of the cartel thing, I don't think I'd be as interested. But like, I so badly want this to be a thing because he does. So
you're going to have questions written up for him, though, because all he's going to say is, can you please say hello, Anna? And then he's going to be done. Like, he'll be like, okay, interview's over. That's all I needed. And we'll be like, wait.
Cesar Faison. Right. I was going to say, I can tell you JD's two favorite lines. It's the hello, Anna. And then when Cesar was standing in line, I think it was at the Outback, and they were like, and who are you? And he's like, Cesar Faison, and lights a cigar.
Yes.
And the only reason I know those two scenes is because my husband.
Yes. So
like, I know them so well.
You can't leave JD just to do the interview because he'll have him say those two things and then be like, okay, thank you for your time. And we'll be like, wait, you didn't ask him this and this. No, I just needed to hear him say those two lines.
So his birthday is January 16th. Happy birthday.
Aw.
Oh, I did not know that. That's awesome. Thank you for that information.
You are welcome because Anna was talking about how excited she was to get to, air quote, work with him again because she got to hear his voice.
Do we just want to get into that then? Being that.
So that was crazy because I never got the ending. Like I wanted her to wake up or I wanted the like projector to fall from somewhere or something. What the heck? Peter cannot still be alive.
No, he's not. No. That is absolutely a hallucination similar to Liesel. In my opinion, that is 100% a hallucination. Very similar to how they had that nurse in there with Liesel.
Right.
Listen, I'm sticking with my Batman theory that they're going Scarecrow and they're using some kind of a hallucinogen to make her. Because remember they did that with Valentine.
Yeah.
When he was locked up and they had him getting that shot and everything, and he thought that Helena was there. So that's what I think is happening with Anna. But I do think that Cesar is going to be alive.
He cannot be alive. His brain is in a jar.
Do you know what part of me thinks, though?
Oh, no. I'm scared.
I actually think that Cullum might be Cesar.
Really?
That's kind of that is my shot in the dark. That is because Cesar Faison from the DVX, because remember I said I wanted the DVX to have infiltrated the WSB.
Yes.
What if Cesar Faison is Cullum? He infiltrated the WSB and now he's getting with Anna. But I do think that it's going to wind up being the mask thing just because that's Cesar's signature move.
Right. I was yelling that at my TV whenever she was talking to Peter. I was like, just rip off his face. And Madeline kind of looked at me like, what? And I was like, you're too young. You don't understand. But that'll tell me if it's Peter or not.
Well, because that was just Friday, right? That was only on Friday?
Yes.
So when I was watching it, it was just JD and I in the house. And I did my typical scream, are you kidding me? I don't really scream, guys. But like, I just went, are you kidding me? And then I immediately realized, like, that has to be a hallucination.
I really hope so.
It's probably Pascal. Like,
oh, yeah, okay.
You know, but how great was it, though? I love that we're having these people just imagine these people to come back. Like, instead of bringing them back from the dead, let's just have them come on for a quick cameo as a ghost. Fine.
Yes.
Do you want to explain, like, the whole Peter?
I guess so. I'm just going to keep yelling at you, like, is it him or not? No, so we see Anna. Well, it was like a new part of her room we hadn't seen before, but she's laying on her
sleeping area.
bed. Yes.
Real quick, we did see that she also has a bathroom. We learned that earlier in the week.
Yes.
Because she was going to be sick.
Mm-hmm. So she's laying in her bed, and you see like all her cosmetic stuff next to her and her rack with her clothes on it and stuff. And I'm like, that was very nice of them to like give her whole setup. And then Peter's there just like taunting her about how he didn't really die. And he calls her Auntie Anna. And he goes on about how his father's not really dead. And of course, he's just waiting for the right time to reunite with her. And she just keeps screaming at him about, like, no, I saw you die. I said goodbye to you. Like, I told you to go, whatever. And your dad's brain is in a jar. So, and you killed
Oh,
him.
no. She said that we both jumped over this because earlier in the week, she was talking to the voice that you were just referencing
Oh, yes.
and saying, you're not real. This is a trick, like all those things. And then that's when he was talking about, don't you think it's weird that, both of my, like two of my children have come back from the dead?
Yes.
Like, what makes you think that I have not? And then that she said about the brain in the jar. And he's like, a brain is in a jar.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
she basically asks him, like, to come out.
Right. Come see me. She keeps like trying to lure him. She's like, well, if you're here, then just come see me. Just come see me.
Right.
And he's like,
And
in good time.
because he's making arrangements for them to spend the rest of their lives together.
Yes.
And then all the Peter stuff happened like 2 days later.
Mm-hmm. It's just crazy. Poor Anna.
I don't even know what to do with all of it. Like, that's
And then the worst part, like we were talking about needing more Mac time, we see Emma go to the PCPD. And I was like thrown off for a second because she's like, is Scorpio in? And I was like,
you.
huh? Like I rewound it.
I was thinking ADA.
Yes.
Thank you. And
Yes.
I am right there with you.
Okay, good. Because I did. I rewound it. Like, again, Madeline was sitting there and I was like, did she just say Scorpio? And Madeline's like, I have
it too.
no idea. So I rewound it and she did say Scorpio. And so I'm like, who is she looking for? Which makes me sad because that just shows how long Mac's been out of the picture. But, they're like, no. And then we see Nathan and he's like, I mean, I'm kind of your family, like family adjacent. I can help you. And the whole time that she's talking to him and he says he's going to go look and see if there's been any updates or whatever, that was all I was thinking was Faison. I'm like, you don't trust him. Don't talk to him. He's not actually checking for you. He doesn't care. That's not Nathan.
Okay. What if, and this is one of those, it could only happen on Soap's thing. They divided Faison's brain.
Oh my gosh. No. No. I can't deal with two Faisons.
And each of them have, much like Taggart calls Jason quarterbrain. But what if, okay, so what if, I don't think that was Peter. I really, really don't. I really think that was a hallucination just because of the entire conversation that they had with him, like that he did, or the monologuing that he did, really. But what if Nathan has half Faison's brain? Oh, remember how I said that I wonder if they tested because Nathan didn't have the gene? What if they split Cesar's brain and Nathan's brain and merged each of them have a half of each?
No, but okay.
But do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because I was like, what if they tested stuff against Nathan? So what if half of Nathan's brain is in Faison and half of Faison's brain is in Nathan?
I mean, I'll let you have your theory. I'll let you have your theory because you're allowed, but no.
But Andre had better not be involved. That's all that I have to say. Andre already kind of messed things up with Anna with the whole memory mapping, the brain mapping thing. Like, no,
Yes.
We're not doing this with Faison too.
I agree. Although I love Andre.
I do too. Listen, we should get him back here to help be the antidote, for lack of a better phrase.
Okay.
He can come help rescue Anna.
All right.
With Valentine, because that was really fun watching Valentine be jealous of Andre.
Yes.
Because if I can't have Anna with Valentine, I really liked her with Andre.
Yeah.
Can you hear Cookie meowing?
Huh.
Okay. She's sitting there staring at the door, wanting it to open magically.
Oh.
She shut it.
Of course she did.
I just text my daughter and asked her to come down and open the door real quick.
My one cat is tall, or two of my cats are tall enough that they can open doors, and they do.
She should be able to bet it open, and I don't know why she's not. Quick reality check. Cookie has a cold this week though, so she's on a little antibiotic. So
Poor Cookie.
I wonder if that might have something to do with it. Because I'm like, girl, I know you know how to open that door. And I know that I sound lazy right now that I am not getting up and getting her.
But she'll be okay. She'll be okay. No, mine are tall enough they know how to hit the knob. Like there's knobs they can smack enough to open it. And I'm like, okay, guys, can you quit breaking into rooms?
Also, my daughter just got home, so I'm wondering if she heard
that's
her
why
come
she
home,
wants.
and
Yep,
so
she's
she
like,
wants to see
my
mom.
mom's home. Yep.
Exactly. So that's why I just texted her and asked her to come get her, because I was like, because she doesn't come bother her.
Right.
You know, if she doesn't see her right away, she doesn't go seeking
Yeah.
her out. But all right. Anyway, back to the show. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. What if they each have half a brain? You know I'm gonna be so right on that one too.
Oh my God. No, I don't like it. But
And-
yeah, I was concerned for poor Emma because she's finally reaching out. She's like, I needed to talk to Mac and he isn't here, but sure, I'll talk to you. I've only gotten a voicemail and one picture from my grandma. My mom hasn't heard from her at all. No one else has heard from her. Like, this is just weird. And Brennan had no idea, so help me. And the fact that it was Nathan, I was like, no, go talk to Dante. Nathan can't help you. I don't
And
trust
how
him.
cute is Gio? Like,
Right.
I mean, he's had his own things that he's had to work through
Yes.
in the past year, because from what we know is his dad passed away before he was born and his mom died when he was young. And those are absolutely traumatic things. But he was very well loved. He was very well taken care of, like in his family. You know, it was just he lost his mom. Did not have to go through some of this crazy trauma that most
Right.
people don't. And most people don't lose their parents. I am by no means belittling the stuff that Gio went through as a kid.
Yes.
But not because then that undoes everything I said before. Anyway, how sweet is he though? Like trying to figure out how to support Emma with. So this is a little more than most people have to deal with, but I am definitely going to. He would just like chime in, like cute little thing, not cute, but like little things like, yeah, we haven't heard from her, and she used to text us all the time when we lived with her.
Right. Right.
You know, I don't know. I think it's sweet that he's trying to figure out how to be supportive. And it's my husband and I talk about this because we had very different childhoods. And I'm like, I don't know how you can support me on this one, but I'm
Right.
glad you didn't have to go through it. But thanks for at least trying. You know, it's
Yes. Gio is a sweetheart.
yes, he is. He's trying to be supportive without getting in the way, but also not making her feel alone.
Yep.
If that makes sense. Okay.
I don't know where that leads us though. That's kind of a dead end.
I don't either. I really don't either.
But I feel like the Anna stuff and then Emma with Anna, that like it really was just that snippet of we saw Anna yelling at the speaker, then we saw Anna yelling at Peter, and Emma's just concerned, where is my grandma?
I wound up rewatching only the Anna scenes with JD because he was actually interested.
Aw,
I know.
sweet.
Have we ever had him do impressions on the show?
I thought we had heard him say once.
I think, but you know that he can do impressions.
Yes.
Like as a friend, you know that he can. So I'm really wondering if that's most of his obsession is
Right.
that he just thinks that Faison has a cool accent and also like the presence and everything. I think that he just thinks that's cool.
Right.
I'm really hoping my husband does not want to start a cartel and start, you know, wearing masks that he randomly disguises himself as past lovers and
Yeah.
all that and
It
suddenly get half a brain.
It would be problematic for you if he was obsessed with someone from the past, if you're his Liesel instead of his Anna.
No, I'm his Anna. Okay, really though, think about it. Okay, Cesar is so stalkery and such a problem.
Right.
He like loves Anna.
And again,
Why?
this is
Why do you guys not have a nice happy medium on commitment? Like it's that sounded so wrong. That just sounded. You know what I'm saying. And if you've been listening to our show for any length of time, you also know what I'm saying. If you're new,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I have had wine.
You'll understand. It's fine.
You'll eventually understand. I'm not saying that my husband does not adore me, and I'm not saying that Ryan does not also adore you.
I'll say
They
they
would
haven't
both do
found.
anything for us. Like they really would. So I guess they are more like Cesar than
We're
there's
not.
no happy medium here.
I was gonna say I don't know that Ryan's found the happy medium of not being obsessed or then not just totally ignoring. But
Well, that's the thing. Is like I don't think my husband's obsessed with me, but
okay.
okay, we're just gonna stop because there really is nowhere for that to go. And
Nope.
I don't really actually know where I was going with it.
So yeah, you want to start back at Monday with Willow because we got to pick up from Friday
Oh.
where I
Okay, I yelled a lot this week. I had a lot of moments.
I was kind of angry that we had missed whatever, because in my mind, I don't know that this is actually how it works, but I was kind of angry that somewhere along the line we had to skip a day, and that is why her jamming him in the neck with the syringe was on a Monday instead of on a Friday. And then I was also mad that we had to skip Tuesday this week because I feel like yesterday was then a Thursday, not a Friday, and I needed more information.
I don't think we did, though. I think that that's where it naturally picked up. I do think, well, and that's what I was explaining to JD when we finished watching Friday. I'm sorry, that's actually how I wound up showing him the stuff with Faison and Peter because I was mad. Okay, we're going back to 20 minutes ago when I was mad.
Okay.
And I went, you want to know how they distributed Anthony Geary after how many decades?
Okay.
Oh, okay. So we also failed to mention that they did it with 10 minutes left in the show. And so if you're watching it on Hulu, I want it. Okay. If you watch it and DVR it with commercials and stuff like that, can you please write in and tell us how that worked? Because was it?
It had to be at the end of a commercial break.
No, I'm thinking it had to be leading into the commercial break because that way it led into the commercial break and picked up with Brooklyn and Chase talking because that was just weird to watch it on Hulu that way. And I don't understand. I don't understand why they didn't have it at the end of the episode. I feel like that's honestly probably, no, the whole 1 minute thing is a problem, but now we know why. It should have been at the end. It was just a weird placement. So if you watched it any other way other than Hulu, please, and it was not in your last 10 minutes or how it was cut up. Like if you watch it with commercials, let us know because there's also Hulu with commercials. So that could be different too.
True.
Anyway, that's how we started watching the episode was because I was showing him how mad I was about that. And then he's like, was it Peter? Or sorry. My husband, who doesn't know anyone's real name, knows that that's Heinrich.
Lovely.
He still can't get Peter, but he's like, is that Heinrich? Although his first go-to was vampire cop doctor, Michael Easton. I was like, no. And he's like, oh, is it Heinrich? I was like, yes. And so that's how we wound up watching it. Where were we that got me to that? Hold it.
Because I said that I thought that I felt
the end of the year or the end of the week,
Yeah.
So when it ended because it ended with Anna telling Faison to come out.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to him, I was like, that should have been Thursday. I'm like, that was Thursday's episode. And we actually do know that because they did announce last week that there was going to be a tribute to Anthony at the end of the January 22nd episode. So we know that was meant to be Thursday.
Right.
I think we're just a day behind. I do think that Willow's. Do you want to explain like the whole thing that led up to that though? Because oh my gosh.
Right. So we see Willow get home. So we saw them in the courtroom. Like we'd heard the verdict last week, but we saw them in the courtroom with just their like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, blah, 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 and hugging and thanking and whatever. And then they say they're going to go home and have a party. And so Nina says she'll stop and grab some champagne, and Chase says that he'll stop over and everyone's going to go celebrate. So then we see them walk into their house, and Scout comes out and asks why they're so happy. And they tell her that Willow, they didn't like explain what all was going on, but like Willow was found not guilty, so everything's good. And she's all excited and gives her a hug and whatever. And Nina is there, and so then Willow says she's going to take Scout to get some juice or whatever because she can't have champagne. And so they leave the room.
Okay, wait a second. Back that up though. Scout actually asked for champagne because she wants to celebrate, and I feel like that was very out of character for her.
Yeah,
like,
but maybe
if they had been pouring. And she was like, why can't I celebrate? But the way that they had her ask, it sounded like she knew she was asking for alcohol at like 8 years old.
Maybe they just got the tone a little wrong. Because I know my kids would joke about it even. Like, even now, I'll be like, oh, grab me a beer. And Madeline will be like, oh, yeah, me too, or whatever. And then it's like, haha, like, obviously no one's grabbing Madeline a beer. She's not allowed alcohol. So I think maybe they just kind of, the way they inserted it, like the tone was wrong.
But did you think it was weird, though? Like
it was, because that's not, and the fact that they didn't either, A, like, laugh it off more, or B, turn it into, like, laugh it off more if it would have been said the same way that Madeline says it, or turned it into like, hey, that's alcohol, we don't drink that, if they were concerned that she's asking for alcohol. It just kind of, it played weird. I think it fell flat.
Yeah. Like it would have made sense more if they had been pouring it and she was like, well, where's mine?
Right. So, anyway, they go off to get her juice, or Willow takes her off to go get juice. And then Drew is like, oh, hey, Nina, so you're not staying here. Thanks for the champagne.
why didn't Nina grab, and I used to do this when the kids were little,
Or a
I
sparkling
would grab,
grapefruit. Yeah.
right, you grab the sparkling grape juice and
Right.
say, this is for us and this is for Scout, and have her be like, well, why can't I have what you're having? Well,
Right. Exactly.
sorry.
Yeah.
And I feel like Nina is good
That kind
enough.
of grandma. Yeah.
Right, exactly. That she would have thought of that.
Yep. But then he tells Nina, like, no, you're not staying here. You're not celebrating. You're leaving. And she's like, that would be weird if I left. And he's like, I don't care. You're not going to be here. That's it. You need to go. And she's like, fine, whatever. I'm going to go. But you're just going to make Willow mad because, like, she wanted me here to celebrate. So Nina leaves without, like, yelling, bye, Willow. See you later. Or bye, Scout. Or whatever. She just leaves.
Right.
And
well, especially where she knows that Willow married Drew for access to the kid. Like she knows that
right.
she knows that Willow does not love Drew. So the fact that she left without some kind of a subconscious, like, call me if you need anything, call me later, like something
Yep.
subliminal,
Right. So she leaves and then Willow comes back. Oh no, then Chase shows up and he has flowers and is like, oh hey. And then Drew's like, sorry, it's not much of a party because one person, Nina, had to leave. So I don't know that you want to stick around either. And then Willow comes out and he says, oh, sorry, your mom had to leave. And Chase was just on his way out. And Chase is like, I guess since it's not a party, since one person's not here, I'll just give these or tell you these flowers are for you and I'll leave. And she gives him a big hug. And Drew makes this face like, okay, you're not allowed to hug people, even though you just got acquitted and they're happy for you. And so,
especially where he is part of why she got acquitted.
Right.
Like Drew has to recognize the power of having Chase on the stand and him supporting Willow. Like, even though, and that's the other thing is that Drew knows that she loved Chase, but then wound up being with Michael and fell in love with Michael and ultimately like built a life with Michael. So Chase really should not be seen as a threat. And we've never seen threatened by Chase before. And they have maintained a friendship. They have never once, everyone knows Chase and Willow are still on good terms. Like there's nothing, it's not like they just started talking again.
Right. She's not some like long lost lover to be concerned is coming back out of the woodwork. Like,
or they have like a falling out and suddenly he's on her side. Like, no, Chase has always been a part of Willow's life.
Exactly. So he ends up leaving, and then we see the other side of it is Alexis is in her office still beating herself up about everything. And then there's a knock at the door, and here it is, Scout, which was super sweet. And she makes the comment about whatever the nanny's name is bringing her. And then it flashes back to Willow and Drew. I don't know if Alexis said it or if Willow said it, but the one of them said whatever the babysitter's name is, because I see you're Googling, but it was not the normal one.
I wrote it down because I was like, who the heck? And then I was like, oh, continue.
So anyway, they're toasting and talking about how great everything is, and she thanks him for letting Scout go over to Alexis's house, and she ends up standing behind him, and then all of a sudden she grabs a syringe. Like, you don't see her grab the syringe like out of anything. It's just all of a sudden she has the syringe and she plunges it into his neck, and then he falls to the ground and he looks at her and she says back to him exactly what he said to the pitcher the night that he was shot and he was setting Lila's ring in front of it. So if there was any doubt, and he now knows that it was indeed Willow that shot him, because she had to have been in the house to say back to him, everything's going to be fine, or something like that. I don't know I didn't write it down. It was like, everything's going to be okay.
I think it's everything's going to be,
everything's going to be fine, Drew. And instead he had said, everything's going to be fine, Willow, or whatever. And then you're just like left there for Monday and end up not having nothing else on Tuesday. And so you're like, oh no, what's going on? And then Tuesday, they don't even show like the 911 call or the ambulance show up or whatever. They're already at the hospital, and she's boohooing about Drew suddenly just like all of a sudden, it was almost like he had a stroke. He went to talk and half of his face was sagging and she didn't know what was wrong. And she's so upset, and they're all buying it. All of them are like, poor Willow. It's okay.
I don't think
blah, blah,
all
blah.
of them.
Well,
I feel like Liz was skeptical. There was
Oh,
something
really?
in the way that Liz looked at her that seemed a little
I don't know.
suspicious.
I don't know. Like, I know that Nina is kind of like, this is like odd to have happened right after you
Oh,
guys got home.
at
But
the end of the week when she was hugging Liz after the breakdown,
yes, and Nina was
absolutely
watching it.
Nina was clocking it.
Right.
But there was something about when Drew was brought in that Liz looked, and I could be reading into it, but like I thought that there was something in the way that Liz looked at her, like, well, that's kind of weird. Like,
Okay. See, I wasn't picking it up. I wasn't picking it up from anyone other than Nina towards the end of the week. But we see Willow say that she needs to go to the restroom and she'll be back. And then she puts the syringe in one of the medical waste containers in the hallway. And then later they flip back and she's gone. And they're like, Nina, when is she going to be back? We need to go over these results. And Nina's like, I have no idea where she went or what she's doing. She's handling something. She'll be back. And it turns out that she went to Alexis and was like, Alexis, I don't know if you heard about this, but poor Drew, he had a stroke. And I just loved Alexis. You could read her mind without her saying anything.
one moment. Is
They warranted it out again.
my battery's working now?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So it could have been a bad new battery.
Okay.
So
But we're good. Just,
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
It's running, but I'm not.
That was like super fast.
He's good.
Okay.
He has got this thing down, but also like we live 10 minutes away from the auto store. So
That was like super fast.
he is like now friends with all of them.
That's awesome. Anyway, so yeah, she's like, I don't know where Willow went, but Willow, we see her at Alexis's, and Alexis, it was just beautiful because she didn't say anything. She just went along with it, but you could absolutely read her mind that the whole time she's talking to her, she's like, you tried to kill him and now suddenly he has a stroke. You are a murderer, but you're giving me my granddaughter. I don't know what to say other than, okay, thanks, but you're a horrible person and I don't know what to do with this information. I felt so bad and happy for her all at the same time. And Willow says, they don't know the prognosis yet, but even if it's a good prognosis, he's going to need all kinds of therapy and rehabilitation. And so Alexis is like, well, I would be happy to keep her at my house.
Well, and she said that in response to Lucas coming out, and she responded in the way that like a nurse would. But also I feel like the way that she was responding was very much, okay, yes, she's going to get away with being able to respond that way because she's a nurse. And so therefore she knows the symptoms and all that stuff. But I think that's where a lot of people were clocking it was.
Well, at first, when she first
like-
talked to Alexis, she didn't have that information yet because she had not
Yes,
talked
yes,
to.
I'm sorry.
to him.
Yep, I just jumped
So-
ahead. Yep.
Yeah, no, you're good. So yeah, she just told Alexis, like, I don't know. And then Alexis was very careful to ask, well, what about Danny? And that was where Willow did protect herself, not like she didn't show all her cards to be like, yeah, Drew's going to be down forever. So sure. She was like, well, I don't know how he would react if he came out of it. And I had allowed that. So let's play it by ear, see what happens and whatever. So then she goes back to the hospital. And Kai is there and he was 100% getting it. He was like, okay, hey, what's up? He didn't say it, but hey, what's up, murderer? Like, you want to sign this paper so I can get out of here? Because you absolutely tried to kill your husband again.
He was going somewhere when she went to dispose of the needle. Why did we not see him seeing her?
That would have been great.
And
that would have been great.
First of all, cameras.
Yeah.
But secondly, hi.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll find that out later on that he did see her. But I felt like that was a fantastic opportunity to have him over the shoulder, out of focus, watching her do it, going and telling Alexis, because they had already talked to her about the fact with the whole phone thing,
Right.
her then being able to reach out to the police and say, listen, and them going able, and I have zero clue how that works. Like, I don't know. Would she be able to do that and have them go seize and have a warrant for that bin? I have no idea, but she was handling it with no gloves. She didn't have gloves on when she stabbed him either.
But she did have it wrapped in a paper towel when she disposed of it. So she must have waved it down.
Yeah. But I know that she does not think she was acquitted means she could never be convicted of any harm towards Drew again. Like,
Right.
I know that. She
Right.
100% did that so she can get the kids because of the conversation that she had with Michael last week of, so I'm not going to be able to see the kids if I get acquitted because of Drew.
Right. And I also think she did do it for Scout too, though. I think she sees how horrible he is and that Scout deserves to be with her mom's family.
Yes.
So I will give her, I mean, I don't like Drew, but obviously murdering people is wrong, but I will give her that little bit of redemption of she did have, it wasn't a selfish motive completely for why she did it.
Wrong method.
Right. So then Kai gets her to sign the release and he leaves. But again, loved his facial, like, man, this is so messed up. And then that's whenever Lucas.
Because he and Trina had been at the coffee shop when he got the call.
Oh, right.
And that's when Nina also got it.
Yes.
It was Nina got the phone call from Willow because she was there with Ava talking, and Kai and Trina were there. We never addressed this, but that was the first time Kai told her that he loved her.
Yeah.
It was never discussed. But jump back a little tiny bit, that after the whole acquittal thing, like Kai and Trina went to the coffee shop and were talking about how messed up it was and everything. And Trina's like, yeah, but Willow put herself in the worst position because it's going to look really bad if she leaves Drew right now after he stood by her and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So that's her punishment, is that she's going to be stuck with Drew. And then Nina and Ava are talking about, what were Nina and Ava talking about?
Ava made the comment, like, really, we're celebrating with coffee instead of martinis. And so they were there celebrating.
But there was something else that Nina was talking to her about that was the reason why they weren't basically like popping champagne.
I think it was her being mad that Drew kicked her out of the celebration party.
Maybe. But yeah. And then
and the kids. The fact that Willow Yeah, she was talking to Ava about how Willow only married Drew to get custody of the kids. And Ava was saying, okay, well, now that she's been acquitted, like, what's next? Because same kind of thing. She's stuck with Drew. What is she going to do? And then Nina got the phone call and was like, oh, Drew's suddenly sick.
Willow is manipulating the heck out of Nina now. So you kind of have to feel bad for Nina at this point because Willow knows what she's doing. Mom, I need you.
I don't know that I feel bad for her yet, but okay.
Did she say mom or mommy?
Oh, God, I don't know. If she said mommy, I might feel a little bad.
I do feel bad for Nina when it comes to this, because I do think that Willow is also manipulating her desire to be a mother. At this point, I do. I feel like no one's off limits at this point other than the kids.
Yeah.
And so she knows how devoted Nina is to her because she wants to be a mother so badly. She's going to do anything that she wants.
Right.
Although it was so weird when I think it's when Nina was asking Lucas for an update and she said, well, he is my son-in-law. And I immediately pictured them doing it on the floor of Crimson.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, and he was not her son-in-law then. They weren't even really together. He did sleep with Nina before he slept with Willow.
Yeah.
But still, ew.
Yeah, totally ew. And Lucas is like, sorry, can only talk to his wife.
Yep. But Lucas did a really nice kind of leniency with it. And he's like, well, we're waiting for this to come back and this to come back, but I can only give the official prognosis to his wife.
Right. So, yeah, then we see she's come back from Alexis's and he comes out and is like, yeah, I'm sorry. It's like the worst news ever. I don't know that he's ever going to come back from this. And that was whenever she like rambled on exactly whatever kind of stroke he called it meant.
Yeah.
And everyone kind of looked at her like, wow, you have a lot of information, even though you're a nurse, maybe a little too much information on exactly what his prognosis is going to be. That's a little suspicious.
Yes, just a bit.
So, man, she's crazy. Like, I was not ready.
I'm honestly so excited for the actress, though.
Yeah.
Like, we have seen Willow have such good range on her character. So I think it's crazy what they're doing to her, but she was robbed the year that she did not get an award for finding out about Wiley Jonah.
Yes, absolutely.
This is not going to make up for that, but I feel like it's the second best thing.
Right. It's another chance at it. And
seeing her turn from sweet school teacher to I'm going to stab you in the neck.
neck, right? That was so brutal.
I mean, I thought for sure the champagne was poisoned because she got it. So I was waiting for, like, you know, in The Princess Bride with the iocane powder, like, I've been dosing myself for so long, so I'm immune to it. So no matter which glass I take, we're good. But I definitely thought for sure that.
I'm sorry. I almost made it through your nerddom, but I had to laugh. Go ahead.
I mean, there are plenty of women who do not, but poison is most of the time the go-to. And especially where, does she think they're not going to find the puncture wound?
That's what I was thinking. Like, I'm sorry,
Because-
that was not a small syringe. That was a decent size. Are they not going to? And aren't they just going to run regular toxicology reports? Because she said he had a sip of wine. I mean, obviously, whatever it was, maybe something untraceable. She is a nurse. Maybe she knows. But she said he had a sip of wine or a sip of champagne. She also had a sip of champagne. So that shouldn't be the cause. But I feel like that's standard. If you're saying all of a sudden he just started acting weird, that, yeah, we're going to run a tox report.
Right. She should have looked for, and this is where my husband starts to worry about me. Think about things that you do as an adult, especially with your spouse when you're celebrating things.
Yeah.
Think about something that goes with blood pressure, perhaps, and would act naturally during baby exertion.
Yeah.
And perhaps cause, I mean, she ultimately wanted to go for the stroke, but I'm sure that there is something. I am not going to Google that. That's my Google limit.
I was going to be scared. I thought you were going to say she should have waited until he was like sleeping or something and done it. You know how they say that people who are into drugs will try to inject themselves places that people don't see them, like between the toes.
No, because we already kid Neil that way.
And so that's what I thought you were going to say is she should have waited till he was sleeping and injected it in between his toes. And I was going to be like, stop, Neil.
No. She should have done something that, as they were celebrating, would have naturally counteracted with physical activity.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no clue, and I have not seen a snapped about that. But I feel like if she is that dedicated to it, and if you really want to, okay, this is such a disclaimer. Like, please do not Google this. I do not want to know. Do not email us.
Getting 10 emails. So if you want to kill your husband, this is what you do.
Keep in mind, my earlier prediction is splitting half a brain. Okay, this is where I am with my theories. Okay?
Got it.
This is where I am.
Yeah.
So,
no, I agree. She could have.
But that's really what I thought was.
Yeah, puncture wound. I'm with you. That someone's going to be like, huh, that's odd.
Right.
So.
Especially where it's in his neck. Because that's not somewhere that they would have put an IV.
Right.
So maybe give him, but you're right, like the toxicology report. So it's not even like she could have done that in his sleep. But you're right. Like, that's one of the things that they missed on Neil. And that was Harmony, her non-biological mom, who she did not really inherit. You can absolutely inherit traits from a non-biological parent.
Right.
However, I think that we're going to see that she has biologically inherited some of Nina's traits and therefore also Nell.
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait for Nell to come visit Willow in her dreams and be like, you thought I was so bad, and now you're actually understanding where I'm coming from.
Yep.
Wait. Oh, please, please, please have that happen. Please have, when Willow is in whatever kind of mental health facility she has to be in, please have Nell visiting her and being like, we're not too different.
Yes, that would be great.
Oh, that'd be so good. I need to update our recap notes real quick. Shannon, half a brain.
Oh, jeez.
And Nell.
Another line, bedroom activities, so that months from now we
that's
can
right.
be like,
I'm sorry. I forgot about that. I've already forgotten about that.
We're going to be confused in a few months for that, or in a year with that.
Bedroom activities causing... Well, no, because we already know that didn't happen. That's why we're not going to write that down. Yep. So half brain, Nathan, face on, Nell visits Willow.
Beautiful.
Okay.
All right. So that was really all with Drew, because that's where we're left. And then like a spinoff cause and effect of that was Chase being all angry because he went to the PCPD and Dante was like, hey, listen, the internal affairs looked over everything. They've decided that you need to become a patrolman again, like you're taking a step down, and then later you can go ahead and become a detective. I don't know that it works like that, right? Like if you take
Hold
the
it.
detective test, aren't you a detective?
Well, I don't think so because based on true crime episodes that I have watched, there was a guy. Oh, you know what it was? It was, oh, babe, what was it that we were watching? JD just walked in.
Yeah.
Oh, it was, I think it was 2020. Was that the bad detective? Was 2020?
Yeah.
He said that he applied 3 times before he became detective.
But once you become one, can they take that away? Like
Oh, that I have no clue.
like you're issued a policeman number through the state when you pass the state test.
Okay.
So I can be a policeman here in our town. I can be a policeman in the next town over, whatever. I don't have to like I do apply for each of those jobs, but if you don't hire me, that doesn't make me not a policeman. So for a detective, are you only a detective in Port Charles? And so you would have to take the test again to go to the next town over, or can you just get hired as a detective there? Like, why are they making him retest? I don't lose my degree.
Because he's being demoted. However, why did Nathan not have to take the test?
There, see? Thank you. You just
And
proved
why
my
did
point
Nathan
without
not
me even
have to-
realizing it.
Why did Nathan not have to start with becoming a patrolman again
Right.
before being qualified to be able to test? And we did talk about that because we went into the whole thing of if you lose, oh, well, that's your answer. Because we did research that a little while ago. If you lose, so if I remember correctly from a few weeks ago, Google, you do still have to keep up with like continuing ed or something like that. Like there was still, because if you don't keep up with your qualifications.
But it's not every year, it's every couple years. So by the time that he went down to patrolman, took his slap on the wrist, and then was ready to be a detective again, he shouldn't need to retest. And he should just be able.
It would be under those 7 years. Yep.
Right. And he should just be able, if he does not want to work for PCPD because he's angry now, he should be able to go just to the next town over and get hired as a detective there if they have an opening. That's what I would like. That's what I was waiting for him to say was, okay, forget you. I'm going to go to Nixon Falls and be a detective there. It's only 10 minutes down the river. It'll be fine.
Here's the deal. I actually have someone I can actually ask this question to, but I can't do it right now.
No? All right. We'll update everyone next week on that.
We are not on texting level yet, but it is someone through one of my networking groups that he is actually a private investigator.
Okay. So
And
there you go.
He has asked me questions about podcasting. So I'm guessing if we came up with a lot of questions, we could totally interview him and be like,
that'd be fun. Yes.
Okay. Police detectives can transfer to another city, often called a lateral transfer, without attending a full initial police academy if they are already certified. But they almost always must pass a background check, psychological exams, and medical exams. In-state moves are easier, while out-of-state moves typically require shorter specialized lateral academies, 2 to 10 weeks. Fair, because you have to learn the local laws.
Right.
So, seniority lost. Detectives typically start at the bottom of the seniority list at a new department, often beginning in patrol, even if they were detectives previously.
Oh, okay.
Okay. If a detective is demoted at one station, can they transfer as detective? That's the question, right? Can they transfer as detective to another? I feel like it's yes. Detective demoted at one agency can transfer to another, but they will almost certainly be hired as a patrol officer rather than retaining their detective rank.
That's crazy.
Especially if the demotion was for cause, which in this instance,
it would be
because of interfering with.
Yep.
So, yeah.
All right. So poor Chase. Yeah, you're out of luck. So anyway, he was angry at home. Like he left there. He went home. He was angry. And so then Michael walks in and starts talking to him about, I guess, no, was it Michael was there first?
That was after Sonny left because Michael was thinking back on his conversation with Willow about how if she was acquitted,
right,
what access she would have to the kids. Sonny came in and was talking about the verdict and everything. And Michael gave him completely justified grief over, it's really hard enough that the entire city is going to now think because of Alexis's closing arguments that I did it, but it's hard enough, or it's even more difficult that my own parents think that I did.
Right.
And Sonny was like, I don't care if you did it or not. either way, you're not going to go down for it. But Michael is saying, and this is again against what Sonny was basically telling him a couple weeks ago. He's like, I don't want Willow to have any custody if the kids are going to be around Drew. And Sonny I wish that they would expand upon this, because what they're having Sonny say does not match Sonny's previous actions, which were against Michael's biological father.
Right.
And I wish that they were showing Sonny having some remorse for the way that he treated AJ and being like, listen, when you were a child, I thought AJ being a drunk that was the worst thing at the time that AJ did.
Right.
He was an alcoholic,
And they could have said to AJ, like, hey, we're going to fight you for custody until you go get help, and like put him into some rehab, and maybe it would have stuck, and then seen what happened, not just been like, nope, we're taking all your rights away and you have nothing to do with Michael, period.
But I almost feel like Sonny trying to get Michael to not go after custody is very hypocritical in a way. I wish that there was more of a conversation going on with this, because Michael's fully well aware of his history,
Right.
So for Sonny to come clean about his regrets because Sonny was Drew.
Right.
Sonny was the mobster. Sonny was the actual legal threat that Drew is to the kids. So is that why he's saying to Michael, don't go down this road?
No, I agree with you. This would be a beautiful time for him to reflect on what he has done wrong in his past and try to be a better example with Michael moving forward.
I do think that Drew is worse than Sonny, because Sonny absolutely loved the kids. There is not he would not have done
Right.
to Michael what Drew has done to Wiley.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Not at all. Would he did anything to keep Michael away from AJ?
Right.
But he would not. Okay, so I could be wrong, because there were a few years that I was not watching, but from what I remember, there was not a time that Sonny went to child Michael and manipulated him.
No, I don't think so. I don't
feel
think
like
that they
during that time,
watched.
though, you and I were not watching at the same time.
I
So we
don't
could be
know.
wrong.
But I don't recall in the time that I was watching that there was ever a time that Sonny was talking to Michael. Like, he would talk about AJ in front of Michael, which in a way that he probably shouldn't have, but he didn't talk to Michael about things. So, yeah, I'm going to go with our knowledge. I just don't know Sonny to be like that. Because I feel like if he was like that with Michael, then he would have been like that with like Avery. Like, that he doesn't like Avery's mom, but he never says to Avery, like, your mom's such a jerk.
Although, would that have been a stepping stone from where he saw the damage that was caused by what he did to Michael, that he was not going to do that to Avery? Because he also lost Michael as an adult.
True.
For how he treated. And actually, that has a lot to do with probably why he is that way with Ava, because Michael was an adult when Avery was born, and Michael was trying to get custody of Avery.
Right.
So I think gosh, this show's awesome. So much that we don't remember, that we are like wasn't it weird? Like the stuff that just triggers.
Yep.
But yeah. That was just kind of really bothering me, because I'm like, okay, how was AJ worse than Drew? And you're saying that Drew should have access to the kids. Like, have you talked to Jason about this one?
Right.
But Sonny said that Turner would not be going after Michael, and that was before Sonny went to see Turner, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Because he went to see Turner, and he reminded her that she had overheard Drew threatening Michael while she was there. That was the pizza night, right? That was
yes. Yep.
And so she's like, you're right, I can't. And so if charges get suggested to be brought against Michael, she's not going to do it.
Right.
But it's like everyone is literally telling Sonny Willow did it. Like Alexis said it. Turner said, she said that to Dante. She's like, I want to know who got rid of the camera footage, and I want to have their heads. And we are seeing Dante get way too comfortable in this seat.
Mm-hmm.
And Chase called him out on that.
Yep.
But Drew, on his way out of the courtroom after Willow was acquitted, said that he was going to be in touch with Turner to press charges against Michael.
Yeah.
And then Turner flipped out on Chase and was like, I hope this was worth it. And Chase was again defending everything and said, yeah, an innocent woman went free. And then that's when they talked about internal affairs. And then Dante mentioned to Turner, instead of Michael, they should be looking at other people like Curtis. And she was like, yeah, that'd be great. Except Alexis basically just outlined exactly why and how Michael did it.
Yep.
But she tells him to go do his job and figure out how to convict Michael, which that right there is the problem with so many court cases is no, you investigate to find out who did it. You don't investigate to justify finding this person guilty.
Right. Especially whenever she just said, I already know that like we lost the case against the person who actually did it. Why does someone else need tried for it if you know that the killer is already gotten off?
Right. So that's going to be interesting, but I don't even know where to go from there because there's so many. Well, we could quickly cover before Alexis saw Scout. She was throwing like the files all over the place, and Suzanne came in, and that's when she realized, she said, Willow's actually guilty. And Alexis asked her when she realized, and she said that she was over justifying. She got super defensive and over justifying basically like small things. And she wasn't sure. But then at the summation, when Alexis tripped up, so we gave her grief about that last week. She was slipping up to see if they would throw the case and cause a mistrial.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Alexis really vented about having to be quiet while she realized that her client was guilty. And she mentioned that someone had come to her with evidence after her closing arguments, so she couldn't do anything.
Right. I wish that Suzanne would have been able to say something to her during, like, as they were running through trying to get her ready for trial. Like, I mean, I understand why she couldn't, but that would have been interesting back then to hear her be like, okay, so now that they've left, I actually think that Willow is guilty. What are your feelings on that?
Right.
And I like seeing Suzanne, like they're giving her a personality. I wonder like what other information is coming.
She has a desk now too.
Mm-hmm. Like what other information is going to come from her that we haven't learned yet? Because Sonny was talking about last week. He was like, I mean, you know how that is, talking about protecting the kids at all costs. And now she's having these friend conversations with Alexis. Like, yay, I'm glad we're getting more of a storyline.
And apparently she bakes like every single day though.
Apparently.
Because she's behind on her baking this week. She didn't make her carrot cake.
Yeah. Poor Sonny. He didn't get anything.
I know.
Everything was very like compartmentalized this week. It's
it
not
really
easy
was.
to jump to something else. Oh, so we were talking about Chase being angry. So Chase and Michael ended up confronting each other at the house and talking about how Chase thinks Michael did it and all that. And then they ended up in a fist fight that Jason had to break up, which was crazy. I thought that it was going to be Brooklyn that came down and was like, what are you guys doing?
That was a good fight, though. That was a really good fight.
Yeah.
I feel like we should maybe so we're not doing it right now. And I feel like by the time we get to it, it's going to be irrelevant. But like similar to how we did Nina and Ava's friendship. I mean, Michael and Chase were best friends.
Besties, yep.
And to see this happen because,
all over Willow, who is guilty. Like, it's so disappointing.
Oh, when did that get brought up? That got brought up. Her cheating on Chase with Michael got brought up. Was that still during trial, though?
I think so.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, it got randomly, like, thrown out there. Like, as totally a jab, you know?
Right. Yeah, because I don't think they said it during their fight this week.
If anything, though, that also should be proof to Chase at how well she lies. Because
right, because he was fully convinced that they were back together, like when he was in the wheelchair and stuff.
He thought they were married.
Yeah, so...
I mean, they were legally married, but he thought that they were happy husband and wife.
Right. So he should absolutely know that she can play it. Oh, that's scary how well she can play it.
Yes.
Oh, you were saying earlier, like before, whenever you were talking about your favorite people, Tracy this week. She was great.
I love her. I do. Because she had already given that she would talk to, or that she would give Michael an alibi, and then Jason comes in, or she summoned Jason, and they're in the solarium. I also love how they're in the solarium because in the old days they would have been in the den, and now we're done with the den. But so it's like now we have the place where all the things, I guess, happen. And Jason went to see her, and she's like, "Listen, I will be your alibi for whatever you did against Drew." And Jason's like, yeah, so I didn't do anything.
I loved his reaction because he's like, what? I didn't do it. Why would you even think that? And she's like, it's okay. I'll say whatever you need me to say.
I loved it, though. She's like, for Monica, I will.
Right. She was like, I haven't always been your biggest fan, but in this case, I get it. Like, whatever you need. And he's like, no, no, no.
Yep.
Loved it.
What else did she do this week? She did something else too. Oh, Chase confided in her first
Mm-hmm.
that he was demoted, and she's like, so you have to go talk to my granddaughter, not me, which very quick to learn, Tracy. Good job.
Right, right. Because she had walked in after he had knocked her board all across the room.
The backgammon game.
Yeah.
Yep. And she told him about how, even though she was definitely not a fan of how he supported Willow, that he was a great detective and that they have to talk. And so they did. I'm so confused as to where we landed there, though, because Brooklyn's telling him that she'll support him if he wants to leave the force. And he's like, yeah, I thought a lot about it. And then he realizes that he does want to become a police officer because at one point he did work his way up again. Like he thinks that he can work his way up again, but he'll have a better schedule. He'll have a more reliable schedule. So that way they can focus on building a family.
Mm-hmm. And she says she's not ready, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I feel like she needs to have a conversation with Gio so he can tell her it's okay.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't really want to wait that much longer. Like, it's not something in the real world, at least, that happens instantaneously. So it's a long process. Like they had already talked to Alexis about, like Chase pointed out. So they need to get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
That'll be a sweet conversation. We might cry then.
But apparently Bobby's has a BLT sandwich costume, like caricature that hands out flyers. Or I'm picturing that this is actually a thing we have not seen, because Brooklyn was basically saying, I love you no matter what, like no matter what you're doing, you know, even if you're, she said busking in front of Bobby's,
Right.
which is playing music, right? Like busking is just playing music, right?
That's what I thought. Thank you. I thought I
Busking
was
is not
wrong.
the people that stand outside of a restaurant handing out coupons.
No, because those are employees of the restaurant. They're not just
Right.
doing that for fun.
Because he said, so you'll still love me even if I'm standing outside of Bobby's in a BLT costume handing out flyers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that she was definitely referencing his
Yeah.
music career.
Yeah, that was weird. But now I want to see someone in that costume.
Yeah, I know. Seriously. It should be one of the teenagers over the summer.
Bring Heather Weber back. She'll be like, this is the only job I want.
That would be fantastic. Oh, there was one thing. So after Chase was demoted, and he said to Nathan, you have to look for a new partner. Dante said something to him, and Nathan said, and I don't know that we caught this. For some reason, I thought the chain of custody that Nathan messed up a few weeks ago had to do with Willow's case. It was another case. That was the whole cigarette butt thing, that whatever. And I don't know why. Like, I think I just put it out of my mind and I only was thinking about Willow's case at the time.
Yeah.
This week, Nathan said he'll step up the chain of custody and not have any more issues like the Levi case. Levi is the name of the guy that was with Maxie when Nathan met her. And I know that that's not where they're going, but I thought that was really weird that they used that name again.
Right. That's not a common one.
No, like I just thought that was weird that they used that name as the one that he was referencing. I think it has absolutely nothing to do with anything other than the fact that they just named it the Levi case. But I was just like, okay.
Huh. Good catch.
Oh, back to Alexis and Willow, though. Not only is she allowed to see Willow or allowed to see Scout, Alexis suggested that Scout move in with her.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
I'm so sorry. Okay. Then.
No, you're good. No, she said she was going to move in with her just because that was where Willow had said all about we won't know what his needs are.
Yeah.
So it was better that he was, that Scout was with Alexis.
I had that tied with my notes where Jason told Danny about Drew's.
Yes, that was so
stroke.
sweet that the first thing he asked was, well, can I see Scout then? And he was like, I don't know. I'm not the person that you should ask. So then we saw Danny go to Alexis, which I felt
and
bad
that's
for
where
her
I have
again.
that is that even though Scout's living with Alexis, I love that she mentioned before, like, you did nothing wrong here. Like, this has nothing to actually do with you. Yep.
And I did like that Willow confided in Alexis and was like, so she told me over Christmas, Scout told me over Christmas that she saw him, but I just don't know. Like, that was a good play. She did play that well of like, I don't know what's going to happen, even though I absolutely know what I injected him with and what the outcome's going to be.
Oh, she absolutely knows what she did.
Yeah. So That was a good pretending like she didn't know. Oh, we saw Brennan totally like taking it the other way. We saw Brennan talking to Jocelyn and saying that she is now off the radar. She's not to do anything in regards to any cases, and that he doesn't want this new guy realizing who she is and taking her on different assignments or having something happen. And she was like, "Why am I getting this protection? Because you're in love with my mom? Like, that's not fair." And he just dismissed her and told her to stay away from everything. And then she learned that Pascal was away from Windermere, so she went to hang out with Lucas, and Ava caught her trying to like look through the bookcase and see what information she could find.
I think she was trying to find the secret passage.
I thought
She
that
was
she, the
looking
way
for
that
the
she was
trigger.
feeling underneath, but
Yeah.
then the way that she was looking at the bookcase, I wasn't sure. I thought maybe she was looking for a bug.
I think she was definitely looking for the secret passage to be able
Okay.
to, but then also thinking, okay, maybe they moved it because it was the bookcase that moved.
Right.
So she was probably like, okay, maybe they moved it to where it's actually in the bookcase now. And it's like one of those old school, you pull out the book and it
Yeah,
moves
that would have been
suddenly.
fun.
Yeah.
I would have been all in for that.
And then Faison's behind the door.
Right. But then Ava catches her and is like, the men are trying to figure out which type of wine they should open, the one from Paris or the one from California. What are you looking for? And she's like, I was just being nosy because it's Windermere. Like, I just needed to look at everything.
Okay. Does Marco know that Anna's in the basement? I was
don't
waiting
know.
for that because they went down to the wine cellar. Pascal's not there to stop them. So why, when he and Ava went downstairs, did they not find Anna?
Yep, I wondered the same thing. I thought that he did know, but whenever he let Ava come with him, then I was like, oh my God, are they
He
going to
has no
find
clue.
Anna?
Exactly.
And then they didn't see anything. So maybe it's in a different wing
Maybe.
than where
It's
Anna's
the
being kept.
subfloor.
Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, they didn't find Anna, but they came back
Yep.
with some wine.
Yep.
And
Although in the meantime, Lucas had offered Joss Ava's martini that Ava has taught him how to make. And Joss is like, I'm not a martini person. And she's like, you just haven't had the right one. I mean, that is now I know we joke about it, but I want Ava's recipe.
right.
But then Joss tries to excuse herself and leave. And she's like, oh, I need to go watch Donna. I forgot that I was supposed to babysit her tonight. And then Ava's like, no, they're at Sunny's. She's having a sleepover with Avery.
Yeah, that was great.
And I truly don't think that Ava was trying to catch her in a lie because that was before the wine. That was before the whole wine thing.
No, I think
I
she
think-
wanted her to stay. Yeah, she
Yeah.
like, genuinely wanted her to stay.
Yep. But then when she found her snooping, it was like, so what you doing?
Right. But I felt like Joss had a good cover, especially since Ava has no idea that she's WSB, where she was just like, it's Windermere. Like, duh. I guess I shouldn't have been snooping, but this place just creeps me out and I want to see what's up. And
Right.
Ava was like, well, Lucas kind of grew up here for a while, so it feels like home. And then Joss was like, no, home's where your family is. Like, that's not what this is. And then it shows them sitting down trying the wine, and Lucas out of nowhere is like, let's go explore the catacombs. Where did that come from?
I don't know.
Like, that is not something
Like-
we've ever heard him talk about ever. And it's not even like Joss said, hey, does it spook you being back here because the catacombs were like scary when you were little, or something that would have triggered that conversation. He just all of a sudden is like, hey, let's go. And Marco's like, no.
And they had regular size bottles of wine that they were splitting between 4 people. So
Right.
with a slight overpour, there was only 1 glass for each person in the bottle. And he said that after 1 glass. And I feel like Lucas is not a lightweight. We've seen him drink recently. So it's
Right.
not like,
It would have been 3 though, because Ava did not partake in the wine.
okay. And he did have a martini. Did he have a martini?
No,
Ava made 2.
Ava was making one for her and Marco, not for.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm
and
like, I remember that she said that she made 2 and should I
yeah,
make
she
more?
made
Yep.
2. Should I make more? And then that's whenever they said, well, Joss, do you want one? And she said she was a wine person. So I don't think that Lucas ever got one, because I think they then immediately went to get from the wine cellar.
Okay. So what we have seen from Lucas recently, though, okay, so between the 3 of them, they maybe each had 1.5 glasses of wine.
Right. He should not be drunk. So
Not to
I
the
don't
point
know.
where, hey, let's go explore the catacombs. He should be like me right now with a pleasant buzz.
Right. Exactly.
But I
But
also don't, despite what we kind of joke about on this show, like I really don't drink that much. I am right now because it's the whole
right, you're going to be
blizzard's
snowed in for the
coming
next
and
3 days.
exactly. So I want some wine
Understood.
in my beautiful butterfly glass that Amanda got me.
Love it.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was like weird and out of character. I got that Joss wanted to go, but Marco shut it down and was like, "Yeah, no, we're not doing that. That's not safe." And ew, just no. So I'm not sure. Like I know they said it because Joss wanted to, but I'm not sure how it got put in there because it's not like Joss made any type of comment that was like, "Oh, I know it's a great idea," or like
Right.
referencing her and Spencer, playing
Right.
there, something.
Exactly. Like there are so many openings for how that conversation could have gone.
Right.
And have it be after the second bottle's open.
Right.
I'm sorry. It was just and rinse your glass between bottles.
Yeah, I agree. Especially because they were trying to compare the difference.
Exactly.
It wasn't like, oh, I'm just trying to drink this to get my buzz. I don't care. They were trying to
Exactly.
decide, do I like this or this better? So don't mix. Like,
They
what are you
were
doing?
actually trying to decide if they liked something more over the other one. Or have new glasses, get fresh glasses. I don't care because
Right.
water does change the taste too. But there should have been.
I mean, they have a whole stocked bar. They should have been able to just grab new ones. I agree.
Right. But when Brennan deactivated Joss, he said that Britt's stepping in her place.
Right, which is just ridiculous.
Like, she's not going to ask questions as to why is Britt suddenly going to work for the WSB?
Right.
Although Joss does know to some degree because she saw her at the Five Poppies. But we saw Cullum.
That is right. That is where you are probably correct of we're working with two different agencies here because Britt was never a WSB agent. So why would WSB have any control over her or be trying to control her? And then we have this other guy popping in and he's like, listen, you're going to stop seeing Jason. And she's like, no, I'm not. And he's like, all right, cool. I have other scientists. Guess you have other people to get you your meds. And then she's like, oh, no, wait. I actually may need to.
That's when I am not that stupid that I did not realize this, but that's when I came up with when I realized, oh, shoot, Cullum starts with C.
Yeah.
But besides from the fact that we love Mac being a father and parenting beautifully like teenage girls, why did we not have Emma go to Felicia about her concern about Grandma?
Yeah, that would have worked. I mean, I'm sure that Felicia, number one, is a PI, so there should be some information there. But number two, she should also know how to contact Mac. So between the two, they should be finding Anna.
Also, she knows Anna. And not saying that Mac doesn't, but Anna's her best friend.
Right.
So why wouldn't her granddaughter go to her best friend and be like, hey, have you heard from my gram? Because this is all that I've gotten, for the fact that I guess I get where her first go-to was to go to Brennan because the message that Anna left was that she was reactivated by the WSB.
Right.
But she knows that Felicia knows everything.
Right.
But we saw Cullum going and talking to Rocco.
Ugh, that made me so mad.
He's doing art therapy.
Yes.
At the hospital as his community service. Why could we not have at least attributed a teeny tiny bit of that? I know that Franco had nothing to do with him.
Right.
But come on.
Yep. I agree. I agree. And before that, we saw him talking to Lulu and him at Bobby's and asking questions about what may have happened to Dalton, which was all just totally weird that he would even ask. And then you saw Britt walk down the steps and it was like, oh, okay, he's just trying to throw it in Britt's face that he has access to Rocco.
Yep.
And that was whenever, we had said like way at the beginning that Carly was 100% picking up on what Britt was doing because Britt comes down the steps and Carly's like, all right, you asked me to be here. What's up? And Britt's like, I just wanted to tell you that I'm moving out. And Carly's like, okay, cool. Leave your keys right there. Like, I don't care. And then Britt like tore into her about how Bobby's is nasty and the upstairs is nasty and her mother would be rolling over in her grave.
I'm going to give Carly your star because how she did not punch listen, you could say whatever you want to about me and I'm not going to physically react. You talk about my kids,
Right.
and for Carly, you talk about her kids or her mom.
Right.
Like, how Britt left there without a black eye is beyond me.
Yep, but Carly picked up on it and she was like, Britt, I don't know why you're trying to start a fight with me, but I'm not falling for it. Like, what do you want? And Britt just kept going and she was like, I mean, yeah, you're making me mad, but I'm not going to sit here and bash this out with you because I see what you're doing, but I don't understand. And then Jason walks in and Britt's like, yep, I have to be done with you because Carly just explained again how you would never pick anyone over her. Jason's like, what is going on? And Carly's like, I don't know what's going on, but Britt is going crazy. And Britt just keeps flipping out about how he married Carly. And even to this day, he would pick Carly over her and she's done with it. She's not putting up with his stuff anymore. And he's like, what are you talking about? We just hung out the other day. Like, we're supposed to be having a date. What is wrong with you? And she was like, nope, I'm done. And she left. And then he
no,
says,
she said, tell me, who would you pick? Me or Carly? And he said he was not going to answer that. And she was like, you just did. And then right after Britt left, Jason basically kind of got really he straight up, he did. Got very stern with Carly. And he was like, what is wrong with you? And for once, and Carly was honest. She's like, seriously, I have no clue. And she was actually kind of defending Britt with, I have no idea what happened. She just came downstairs and started saying all this crazy stuff to me. And he said, why don't you realize that I can love you and also have room for somebody else in my life? Mm-hmm. And I love that it was just somebody else because it might not be Britt, but but Carly also was kind of like, yeah, we're past that point now. You know, I do think you can. Do I want it to be Britt? No. But could it be? Yes. Like she reiterated, she's not going to get in the way of that. She's going to have her opinions. Right. But she's not going to get in the way of it.
Right. She said we've grown since then. We're not the same people.
Yep. But, I don't know.
I mean, I understood obviously why Britt was doing what she was doing. And then we see her later at the hospital. That's whenever she walks in on Rocco and him in the art room. And she brings him into her office and she's like, what are you doing? Why are you messing with Rocco? And he was brutal. He was like, well, it could be said that maybe there was sensitive information in that lab and he must have seen it, which means that he needs to be dealt with. And she's like, so you're going to have him arrested? And he starts talking about sending him to Steinmauer. Like, what?
And he would not be the first juvenile that was in Steinmauer?
Right.
He knows without telling her. She probably thinks that he doesn't know about Rocco.
Right.
But, I mean, to be honest, how could he not? If he's the director of the WSB. He knows. And Britt is smart. Mm-hmm. Like, she has to know that that's why he's even having any interest because he also had breakfast or lunch or coffee or whatever with Lulu and Rocco. And that was when Britt came down the stairs and was watching them. And then that's when she lost her mind on Carly. Because he was talking to Lulu about reconnecting because the Spencers have such a history with the WSB. And
yes, that is how he started the conversation about the Dalton stuff. But yeah, that was weird too. And Lulu called him out on that also. She was like, why are you talking to me instead of my mom?
Yep, exactly. But then Lulu went to Laura and was telling her about meeting with Cullum. I really feel like Lulu is completely... Okay, first of all, side note, why is Lulu not losing her mind over the fact that Rocco's community service is at the hospital that Britt works at?
Mm-hmm.
Are we just not having her realize that?
Right.
Where she's so against Rocco spending time with Britt and Liesel?
Mm-hmm.
That, gee, having him do community service where he works, like she's not once talked to him like, listen, you're going to be near Britt, but just remember what I said.
Right.
But Lulu talked to Laura about Cullum. Laura was wondering why he was asking so many questions about Dalton, and Lulu's like, well, Rocco broke into his lab. Of course he is. But it sounds like the WSB is now looking into his disappearance, and Lulu just doesn't seem to care about that. Like I felt like when she was talking to Laura, she wasn't like, okay, Mom, what's going on here? Like, why is this happening? It was more of so this weird thing happened today.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't even hit her, like, the impact of why is this moving up the chain to the WSB caring about Dalton when he should just be some college professor that the police did their investigation and it's over and done with. Oh, but before Lulu, we saw Liz check in on Laura. That was so sweet.
That was You know what? I really need to have my son start watching General Hospital and be like, listen, this is the daughter-in-law I want.
Right. Right.
Because even if you guys get divorced and it's on both of your own issues
Yep.
multiple times over,
Yep.
I want her to still check on me.
Yes, exactly. It was beautiful. I loved it.
Oh, because so since Kevin and Ace moved away, she wants to check on her. And we learned that Portia and Willow, between Portia, Terry, and Willow, for the first little while after Lucky left and all the boys are gone,
Yes.
that somebody was always there to take her out to dinner after work. And it was so cute because Laura's like, is something wrong with the boys? She's like, no, the boys are fine, even the one that you raised.
Yep. This is so sweet. And whenever she did finally leave, she was like, I have the best daughter-in-law. And I was like, oh, that is so cute.
Well, because now they're going to get together. And because Liz was like, well, can we get together for dinner then? Like, this is my roundabout way of saying, by the way, I'm going to come get you after your work shift. Let's go to dinner. And, they say that they're going to meet and everything. But that really was, and Liz's outfit too. That was so darn cute.
Yep. Adorable.
Yes. They're the best.
They are.
I think that's it though.
I think so. I mean, we talked at length. I think we got everything.
It was a very heavy week though. Like, I'm almost glad we only had 4 days because there was a lot.
Reality check.
So how was your real life week?
It was pretty boring, which is good. Madeline and I have started watching the show Switched at Birth. Did you watch that when it first came out?
No.
Oh, okay. So it's on.
I feel like it's self-explanatory, but please.
Right. It's on ABC Family. It came out years ago, and it starts with a girl in high school, and they're learning like about biology. Blue eyes plus this equals this. Whatever.
Is this
blah,
real
blah, blah.
or is this?
I don't think it's based off a real story,
Okay.
but I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, so as part of that lesson at the school, they do a blood test, and she goes home and is talking about, oh yeah, we did our blood test at school today. I'm type whatever, blah, blah, blah. And her dad says, no, that's not possible because I'm whatever and your mom's whatever, which can't make a whatever. And she's like, well, I mean, they ran the blood test at school. Like everybody got it done, which is also weird. Like, I guess they sent them away. I I don't know that
That
it was
was the face
instantly.
that I just gave you. I'm like, did they not get parent permission? Because they're all underage. So for them to have done this.
Well, the parents, I think, didn't think anything of it because so she starts talking about the blood test and they're like, that doesn't make any sense. It's impossible. And she's like, no, that's what it says. And so then she says to them like, hey, can we go explore this more? Because I'm telling you, that's what it said and whatever. And so they go and get genetic testing done. And then it turns out that no, she's not their daughter. And so they track down the other family and find the biological daughter that they have not raised now for the past almost 16 years. And so the families get to know each other. But the other daughter had caught meningitis whenever she was younger and is now deaf. And so Madeline and I have been watching it, and Madeline's decided that she wants to learn sign language now. And so that was earlier. She came in and interrupted us and was trying to sign, like, can I have a Dr. Pepper? And I was trying to tell her, get me one too. And she wasn't getting it. And I was like, okay, your signing's not where it needs to be because I'm just using normal, like, me too, not anything that's sign language. But she's slowly, we just started it. Like, we are not anywhere close to being able to full out get into it, but she knows the alphabet already. I guess they learned it in school or they learned it off of something. And so she was like, well, I could just teach you the alphabet and you could spell things out. And I was like, I can't spell using my voice.
Didn't learn the alphabet?
No, I can't spell using
we learned it in elementary school.
Oh, yeah. I was in Ohio then at the Catholic school. So we were not taught it.
Our gym teacher taught it to us. Oh my gosh. Why did I not think about how I know this? Our gym teacher taught it to us. Why did our gym teacher teach it to us?
Right. I mean, good for you, but why? What does that have to do with gym class?
But I felt like also I learned it in Girl Scouts.
Oh, yeah. No, I did not learn it, and I did not. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so now I'm going to post a random thing on Facebook again.
Right? I feel like, why is our gym teacher teaching us sign language? Again, good skill to have.
I don't know if they needed it or if they had a family member that needed it. Either way, like, I mean, that was huge that in the 90s we were randomly learning it.
Right. No, that's awesome. So anyway, Madeline said, I can teach you the the alphabet and then you can at least spell stuff to me. And I was like, yeah, I can't spell using my voice. So I definitely am not going to be able to spell using sign language, but we can learn all the signs and whatever. So that is what she's been doing for the past day and a half of anytime we're not at dance. She's been looking up videos on how to learn stuff for ASL.
So you want to know what I've been doing for the past 54 days?
You were already learning a different language.
I'm relearning French, but ASL has been one of the things that I've wanted to learn because of how much I want to help disability housing and changing it.
Yeah.
And I will never, ever, ever, I will always suggest that they get an actual interpreter, but I want to be able to have basic conversation of, I like your shirt. Do you like this color paint? You know, like, do you like this?
Right.
I will never get to the point. Actually, I shouldn't say that, but I don't perceive myself as getting to the point where I feel like I feel comfortable enough to walk them through a legal document without an interpreter who is also there to walk them through.
Right.
But yeah, that has always, it's one of the things that's on my 50 before 50 is to learn basic conversational so that if I were ever in the situation that I'd be able to help someone or have a conversation with somebody.
Right.
So there's an app that I've been using for the past 54 days because that's my streak. And it's
good.
It is Lingvango.
Okay.
Lingvano. Lingvano.
All right. We'll have to sign up for it because, yeah, that is our project. Well, it's funny because we had been saying to Madeline, like, you know, in your downtime, not that she has much of it, but in your downtime, you need to be doing more than just playing on your iPad or talking to your friends or whatever. Like, it's good that you can interact in other ways with people, but at the same time, you don't need to be on electronics all the time. So maybe we're going to talk about learning a language or doing something like we were coming up with ideas together of stuff that we could do that would be constructive. And so, yeah, after just watching, well, like, I don't know, 5 episodes or so into the show, she's like actively watching the way that they are signing and trying to pick up on them. And then started looking at taking whatever on, I'm sure it's YouTube she was watching, but whatever, so that she can start learning ASL. So I'm excited. I'm sure she will be way more advanced than I am, but I'm going to try along with her. So there you go.
I'm posting real quick. Hold on.
No problem. I can't wait to read your old classmates' answers as to why your gym teacher was teaching you the alphabet in sign language.
I think that
I mean, that's interesting. If they had someone in their family or if someone in your class did, that's awesome. I'm all for education, but yeah, sorry. Typically, it's not your gym teacher that's teaching you that.
This is where I'm like super active there's my reality check. This week I am super active on Facebook. I also remember that we had coloring pages. Like we had coloring pages for the different signs, but I feel like we also learned it in Girl Scouts. So I don't know why I thought that was just something that I also learned in Girl Scouts. I completely forgot about the fact that I learned it in gym class. All right.
Look at me. I'm unlocking memories for you.
I know.
So what else is your reality check?
Hold on. I have to look at my calendar real quick because now I'm like so distracted by the fact that why did my gym teacher teach us sign language?
The answer next week.
I know. We will definitely, you know what? I'm just going to add that to the list real quick. I feel like this week was just like one of those weird weeks. January is a hard month because you're coming off the holidays, but then you just immediately have like other extra holidays.
Okay.
Well, so JD was off on Monday. My daughter did work, and so did my son. But then, and the weather's just crazy here right now this week. So we'll just throw that out there. I mean, like work's picking up a little bit, had some good meetings this week, but missed yoga because of pending weather. This is just a weird week for me. I don't know. But JD and I had a date last night and we're really, really, really trying to intentionally have dates this year because I feel like we spend a lot of time together, but it's not like super intentional time for like us other than what do you want to binge tonight? It's great because we can just do that. And I have a legit great time just hanging out on the couch and, you know, binge watching Netflix or whatever. But apparently that we're working on remembering that we need to also date. So we've had a couple like little things that we've done over the past month, but last night, like we actually did like the dinner and a movie, and we saw The Housemaid, which I love Frida McFadden's books, and he knows that I binge them. Like I can read her book in a day.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wanted to see, is this thing on? And so I sent him like a couple options and I was like, seriously, like here's all the movies that are here. Here are the two that I want to see. And I did suggest The Housemaid, but I definitely was pushing more for the other one. And I'm not saying that I'm not thankful that he picked The Housemaid, because he wanted to see it because he knows that I've read the books.
Mm-hmm.
So he's curious as to what I've been reading. And if you've read the series, now my husband knows what I've been reading. And is like, is this a warning? Like, what's going on here? But I just want to say, like, he didn't pick it because he thought that was going to make me happy, because he actually knew that I wanted to see the other movie more. And I'm not saying that to also be a brat, like, oh, my husband picked the wrong movie. It's just, he also, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
it's such a tricky situation to be in, being like, it was great, but he didn't just pick it because he knew it would make me happy.
Yeah.
But also I'm thankful that he did. It was honestly probably one of the better adaptations of a book that I've seen. Have you read anything of hers?
I have not. And I haven't seen the movie. My son and his girlfriend saw the movie over Christmas break with her family, and they said it was amazing. So it is definitely something I will have to check out, but I have not.
I find her books to be a super easy read that like I can get through in a day. Like they're one of the books that I'll read at the pool, like while I'm in the pool, and I'll be done with it that day. And I'm not necessarily spending all day in the pool. Right. But she is like the queen of plot twists. However, I will make a suggestion. Do not read too many of her books too close together, because then you're always going to be looking for the plot twist.
Okay.
But I feel like you identify it way too soon if you read too many of her books together, if that makes any sense. But no, it was definitely really good. And the thing is, like, I knew so many of the things that were going to happen in the book, and they still got a reaction out of me.
Oh, that's good. It must have been a good movie then.
Yeah. But it was nice, I tried out a newer restaurant called Rival. It opened in May, so it's like not necessarily new. But yeah, so that was
that's nice. Good job dating. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I like him.
Well, that's good. That's kind of a little important in a marriage.
Yeah. I mean, just a bit. All right. This has probably been like a really, really long episode. I can't think of anything else that I did this week, though. I wasn't feeling good for like 2 days. So that kind of takes a lot out of you, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so join us on Thursday as we talk with Kim Hudson.
Yay. I'm excited for that.
Me too.
So have a good week.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to peer54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review. And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Peer54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at peer54podcast@gmail.com.